front of this popular restaurant called Porto's in Burbank, California. And I'm going to see if I can trade this for a meal. At least a meal. I think this is definitely worth at least a meal. Definitely worth more. But you know what? I wanted to make this video just as a personal experiment. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's hop out of the car. Actually, you know what? I got to go to the other side of the car and get my stuff. But give me 1 second. We're going to be live here. We are live here. So let's see. What's going on? Let's see. Hold on 1 second. We're going to get started in a minute. Just got to get my stuff. So that's the goal here. Let me clean this camera off. Hopefully I don't have to wait too long. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how this goes, but all right. Let's go head on into Porto's right now and see who will possibly trade this painting for a meal. And it's actually it looks like it's gonna start raining soon, so I don't know how it's gonna be, or if they might even like make me go away from their place of business. But I've seen people at least like, you know, just chilling out here promoting things. So I don't know if maybe they'll kick me away from their little entrance or whatever. But here we go. You can see Porto's Bakery. Porto's Bakery right here in Los Angeles. And he's setting up here. Maybe it takes me 20 minutes. He's willing to trade for this painting. So here we go. Here's my little setup right here. Trading art per meal, $30. Pretty up to a $30 meal. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. I might be sitting here for hours. I might be sitting here for 5 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know. But until then, you'd like to see this work? Yeah, me too. I mean, you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I could be sitting out here for hours. But, you know, I think it'll really speak to, you know, the community, I guess. I mean, hopefully Porto's has a good art-loving community. I'd be like, hey, I'd love to buy this painting for, not even buy it. They're literally just buying me a meal. So we'll see. Let's go. A nice little stand. What does the stand do? But ultimately, I think the real question is like, you know, if I was to sit here every day for like weeks at a time, I definitely think it would happen. But can it happen in less than 1 hour? I don't know. Can it happen in less than 2 hours? Or will I get kicked off of this corner? Is this considered panhandling? I don't know. I should probably post this on my Reddit too. Let's see, let's go to Reddit real quick. I'm gonna drop off the internet for a second. We're gonna fall off the internet for just a moment, or this connection, and all right, we're back. Let's see. 30 minutes to 1 hour. All right, somebody voted for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Maybe not today. Maybe not even today. I'll try for an hour. Maybe 2 hours, I don't know. But the connection is a lot better. Thank you. The Omizu Creative. I mean, I had one person that, asked me if I wanted, like, if I needed food, but I don't know if they were like, they thought I was like, if I need food or if I want it. And I, hope that this is clearly a, social experiment of trading a meal for a painting. But I will sign off as soon as if the trade goes through. But we'll see. Here's my little setup here at Porto's. It's a pretty good sign. I wonder, like, if you really want to get technical on making signs, trading art for a meal. I mean, how could that have been worded better? I'm thinking, wonderful art piece for your home. For trade for a meal trade or something like that, like wonderful meal for trade or art for trade, you know what I mean? But it's also, a little tricky. Like, if you ever try this anywhere else, the thing is that this is specifically a painting of this business. So because it's a painting of this business, it's really relevant to this place. Otherwise, probably wouldn't be as clearly relevant and obvious. But yes. But here's the thing, like, I pay on Instagram, I pay tons for ads, and by tons I mean, for my budget it's a lot of money, but it's not tons and tons. And you try to get your art in front of people, you spend all this money. But you just got to get your art outdoors. Go. I made this post on Reddit, and the first comment is probably the funniest comments. It said, "I'm not going to touch grass." So, in context, it was way funnier. On the yeah, I was painting over there. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trading it for trading. All right, got some fans so far. But here's the thing, is to have this many people locally to see the artwork. If you were to post it on like Instagram or something, you'd probably have to pay like $100 per hour. I'd probably be paying like at least $100 to have people actually see the artwork and like, look at it and be like, oh, that's interesting. I think the cost of social media advertising versus in-person advertising, I mean, in-person for artists just cannot be beat. 100% just cannot be beat. Cannot, as an artist, you cannot do better. As an artist, you cannot do better than sharing your artwork in person. Obviously, if you have a gallery. No, I didn't make it work yet. It's not worked yet. People have only said thank you, but I think it's hard for, people to just like stop and be like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll it's hard for people to just be like, oh yeah, totally, let me just stop in your tracks and, trade a piece of art for something. I think they want to, but like, they have to be totally stopped in order to do so. But I know there are all these things, and but fun little experiment. Let's see. Been 22 minutes so far. And is this the same thing? So, I used to think that like it's almost impossible to trade artwork. And maybe it would be much harder if I wasn't streaming. I don't know. No. I painted this piece like 2 years ago. Actually, I painted this piece right at that corner. At this corner right there. So I was at that corner, right there, painting. Which you can see, I would totally walk across the street right now, but it's a busy intersection. But yeah, it was done. This painting was done plein air. I actually did message the company. I was like, hey, I'll sell it to you. But no one responded, so. But no one responded to that advertisement. So we'll see. I did it live. It was like, live during the hot summer, like a year ago, a really hot summer. And then, I'll probably have some of the food to share, of course, but we'll see, you never know. I think it's a reasonable trade, right? Reasonable. Good enough painting. Let's get an up-close view of this. So, it's definitely a little bit impressionist. It has the, iconic street Hollywood airport sign. There's a for sale sign. There was a for sale sign here that day. I don't remember the exact date. I probably have it on my my Instagram, my YouTube. But ultimately, it was done in plein air, live, on a live stream. It captures a couple people. I don't know who was working there, but maybe they're talking. Maybe one of the managers might have to kick him off this corner at some point. I don't know if it's allowed. But hey, I am making. I'm eventually going to turn this into a Reddit post. Because I really am curious, like, will people trade artwork for a meal? Will people be, I wanted to do this just going like business to business, but that might be a little bit too solicitous. A little too solicitous as far as, oh wait, I gotta put this on link, share it on another social media profile. So I'll be back in like 30 seconds. We're gonna disconnect here for a moment. All right, so we're back. Just did another quick. All right, so we're back. Just did another quick little share. So we'll see. One thing that YouTube does not do for you is it does not always, push your ideas out to the public very quickly. So you do have to, do some of your own sharing. But maybe this is like a better. So is this a better angle? I don't know. It's a good angle for this. Yeah, we did this painting. Oh, there's a car there now. But right across the street, there's a little fire station right here. A little fire hydrant. I think it captures some details. It's another rainy day just like this. Very, very gloomy weather. It's very gloomy weather. Yeah, just like this. I mean, it's kind of gray out. It might even start raining in a little bit. But yeah, honestly, the day was probably almost exactly like this. I would say that it might have been raining a little bit. Now that I'm on the spiel about it, I met this really interesting guy. He said he just came out of prison, who was on my live stream. said he just came out of prison, and in prison was where he learned how to paint. So, it's kind of cool talking to that guy because, you think about, people's experiences in prison, and then you wonder, like, how do you spend your time? I guess you can exercise a lot. I think, I've heard of people going to prison and learning how to cook. I've heard of people now going to prison and they learn how to make artwork. And this guy supposedly actually made copies of stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know. He said that one of the paintings that he'd sold and he made for somebody was a copy of Edvard Munch's what's it called? The Scream. How did I forget that name? The Scream. But this is for fans of Portos. It's good music. I like it. I hope I don't get, a copyright violation for having this music on play. There's got to be at least one art collector out of the hundreds of people that come to this place every hour. Honestly, there's got to be at least hundreds of people. Portos is probably, I think, is one of the most successful businesses of bakeries in California. I mean, think about that. California, one of the fourth biggest GDP on the entire planet, and being one of the most successful bakeries in the entire state. It's a pretty fascinating thing. So finding a random art lover, we'll see. But if anything. But also, it's been 30 minutes. I feel like can life make it too easy? Just like that moment I get here, someone's like, yeah, let me get it. This video stream has to go at least for an hour, right? It has to go at least for an hour. You have to put in this. I guess I have to wait here for at least a little bit. Otherwise, it's a funny feeling. Because I almost feel so certain that, there's someone that really wants this painting. There's somebody that wants it. It's a good painting. It's a great painting. But at the same time, it's you have to be challenged a little bit, right? You have to wait a little bit. Not everything can come instantly. You got to have patience. And you know what? Even if it doesn't come today, maybe I will try this again. Maybe I won't try it again. Who knows? Although the only reason I wouldn't try it again, Dear Diary, Dear Journal, the only reason I wouldn't try it again is because, you don't want to make it seem like, it's too difficult, but who knows? I think once it starts getting busy and there's a line, once there's a long line of people waiting, you kind of just sit here and just chill out. I swear, there's usually all the way down the street, there's lines. I'm trying not to get anybody's face in here, but there's a line for at least 50 people. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, at least a line of 50 people here at Portos. How can I show the Portos sign more? I guess I should just show this image. Here on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Magnolia. Really, really famous street here, Hollywood Way. What could be better than, some people call this area, hey, how you doing? Hey. Some people call Burbank, California, the real Hollywood, as opposed to Hollywood Boulevard, because, historically, this is where the majority of, movies have been made. Disney, Warner Brothers. Disney, Warner Brothers, all these places. So, yeah, Disney, Warner Brothers. I think when I originally was painting this painting out across the street here, when I was originally doing this painting across the street, When I was originally doing this painting across the street at the gas station, um, it was a little bit rainy. I actually got some rain on this painting, but I haven't touched it up. This is pretty raw. This is a raw painting, plein air. Very, I wouldn't even say it's like impressionist, because I think impressionists do a great job of like, they make a great job of making things that are blurry look look like accurate, but mine's not really blurry. I think mine has a little bit more definition, or just a little bit more detail than, you know, a typical impressionist might. So, you know, I would call it sometime either after impressionism or something like that. 30 minutes to 1 hour. All right, well, we've already surpassed the 30-minute mark, so, you know, maybe. Well, I said, so here's what I wrote. Up to $30. I mean, it's not asking for much, but you know, prices in Los Angeles right now are really expensive. The basic price of a meal right now is like $20, like for any of the meals. So I'll probably, you know, I'm thinking like a couple like an empanada, you know, a little potato ball, and then like a sandwich. But honestly, the meal isn't the price of the meal, or the cost of the meal isn't as like important as this idea of trading artwork for, you know, just this idea, like at the same time for artists to get themselves out there, hopefully, you know, to, yeah, that concept of, you know, posting on there, or getting out there, posting up, and getting your work seen. But again, like, you know, you got to think about this when you're doing artwork and all you do is post online. I know there's probably a lot of artists that do this, but if all you do is share your artwork online. By the way, I got to take a photo of this. Excuse the fire sirens here. We're in real Hollywood right now. This is real Hollywood. Burbank, California, for those of you that don't know, is technically real Hollywood because, you know, Warner Brothers, Disney, animation studios, DC, the classics from Universal Pictures were all pretty much filmed in Burbank up until, like, I guess the 2000s when Netflix started to come around, and, you know, that kind of changed. But there are definitely people that call this Hollywood way. I'm trying not to get people in the photo here because it's like to keep them private, but you see that sign, Hollywood way. And, you know, of course, one of the most well-known bakeries here. The most well-known bakeries here at Porto's. You can just recognize this building just from, like, look at this. So we did, you know, this was probably the hardest part of the painting. This area right here, this little round part. And in general, it's hard because, you know, the building kind of curves around a corner. And I had to try to capture this whole idea of it being around a corner. Trying to make it like around a corner, but like not make it flat. So yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, especially with the sun shifting over the course. I think it took me about 3 or 4 hours to do this painting. Maybe 4 hours. 4 hours of working on this. Would it work in an arts district? I don't know. This might work. Honestly, this probably could work better at an arts district. Maybe. This could potentially work better in an arts district because well, here's the thing. I think all of Burbank and Hollywood, all of Burbank and Hollywood is pretty much an arts district. The whole city is really an arts district. You got, dancers, musicians, editors, architect design people. You got painters, furniture designers, hair people. Like there's just so many art. Like all of Hollywood's an arts district. I think it's a very artsy town. I met someone the other day. I met a friend the other day, and she was saying how. And I was sharing with her that my girlfriend, y'all know Kat, partner, she wrote a book. She wrote a book, and when I told this other person, she thought I had said she was reading a book, and she wanted to hear more about it. But then I had to clarify that she was actually writing a book. And they made the comment of like, it's pretty unique to LA where pretty much everybody is really working towards, some idea or some creative endeavor, which is really unique about Los Angeles. So I really consider pretty much anywhere in LA, almost anywhere. It's really changing. It's shifting a lot. There's more music. Burbank's not as much of a. Burbank is not as much. It doesn't hold all the, film and production power as like some of the big areas now where Netflix is, Apple is, Amazon Studios, Sony. But it's still a very, influential town as far as production goes. All the stages here still. But, Hollywood. Got a little Hollywood Way, an iconic little gas station here. Arco. I like Arcos. Arcos are fantastic. But to me, I'm like, it was the question, should you go to an arts district and do something like this, or just go straight to Portos and try. I don't know. My main concern when I was doing this was whether they would kick me off this corner. But here's the thing: is I'm not. It's one of those things where I'm not profiting from the corner. I'm literally offering to give them money. Oh, it's okay. No, it's just I'm only training the art for a meal. Thank you. There's a guy down there, though. I don't know. Thank you so much, though. Appreciate it. Someone's gonna offer me $1. I should have taken it. I don't. Is it offensive to not take someone's money? He's gonna offer me $1, but I really just want to trade it for a meal. But thank you to that guy. I want to thank you to that man who offered me some money and thought I was, that's not what I'm here for. Just for clarification, this isn't more of like, this isn't like how you done? This isn't a video of like sitting on a corner or whatever. It's more of just this. More of like a video for artists, I guess, out there. Just get your work out there, Just put your work out there. Yeah, I guess I could have. There's a guy on the corner down there who who needs it. I pointed at him, so hopefully the guy goes back over there and gives it to him. But I will share some of the food, but also at the same time, I probably will also eat some of the food. But it looks like maybe it won't happen today. We're already at 43 minutes. I don't know if I'll wait here for an hour. I feel like, I don't know, how long should I wait? At this point, the poll should be about how long I should wait. So it's gonna be between 30 minutes to an hour. Let's end the poll here. All right, so that was poll number 1. Next poll is, I'm wondering, should I wait? How long should I wait? Because here's the other thing, like honestly, I think if you wait here long enough, as long as it takes, all day, other. But here's the thing, like, no matter how long this takes, honestly, I think this is more valuable than spending money on Instagram ads, because there's already been at least 100 people that walked by and actually took a look at this painting. Whereas if I was on Instagram ads, I'd have to pay. I probably have to pay at least like 5 cents for people to see this. So every person that passes by, I mean, this is just talking business math. I'm sure not everyone, appreciates this type of talk. But, I've been seeing lots of posts about artists and Instagram ads on Threads. A lot of people complaining about Instagram ads. And you know what it costs? It's like 5 cents for every view you're getting, and you're paying for that. But if you just go outdoors, share your artwork outside, but it's not always convenient for everybody, of course, right? Like, the reality of me sitting here waiting for one meal and, waiting out here, I have to have time to be able to handle the finances. You know what? I'll probably wait until it starts raining, if it starts raining. I don't know yet. Oh, someone said 30 minutes to 1 hour. Well, definitely. So I got 14 minutes for that bet. So 2 people said up to 1 hour. To 1 hour. And I guess it's either today or nothing. We'll see. But there's a gentleman down at the corner that probably does need money. So hopefully I will direct. Well, not hopefully, I am directing people that for whatever reason think I'm looking for cash. I will direct them to that other guy. But ultimately, this is more of a stream, not to sell paintings or artwork, but just. Hey, how you doing? Thank you, appreciate it. I might have it probably would have been better if I. Here's another thought: should Edmund smash the painting in a fit if it doesn't sell? I don't know. No, I'm not gonna smash it. You might even say I might just even leave it here. Who knows? Practicing non-attachment. Somebody will take it. Somebody will take this painting. Somebody will take this painting. But here's the other thing is I do want to be able to connect with who ends up claiming this painting. That's the other thing too. That's the one part about leaving paintings. But I do have this thing that I'm planning to do. I'm gonna leave some paintings like out in the world in like little free libraries and stuff. So I'm probably gonna go leave some in like little free libraries and probably make a series of that. It'll be sad if it doesn't get taken. I don't know. Whatever. If it doesn't get taken, it was not meant to be. It's just not at a level that people are willing. But whatever. I don't care. I mean, I care. Right? There's a level of caring. But then there's also like should I write a personalized message on the back? You know what? I think I do have to write a personalized message here. But I think a thank you. My signature's on there. Got E. Ferguson. My signature's on there. But let's write something on this right here. Where should I write it? Can y'all see? Let's see. We're gonna do some writing here. Luckily, I have a brush, ink brush. Alright, so I'm just writing my handle here now. And here we go, just throwing down a little, here's a little thing right here. Okay, this little thank you. I don't want to write on the actual canvas. That's enough. I don't think I need a business card if they really want. See, my fantasy of this is that I actually join the person for lunch. That's the actual fantasy of this, but we'll see what happens. That is the actual fantasy. I actually sit down with them and we have a chat, but either way works. I'm down for anything. This is just a fun little day. Live streaming outdoors. I don't do enough live streams like outdoors. I do all the artwork, but I think some of the stuff I like to be able to help with as far as adding value in my content is just the idea of sharing some of the, I guess, the business thoughts, the marketing things. Because on one hand, it's like, what do I have to actually do to get artwork to be seen on the internet, right? that's a challenge in itself, is getting your artwork to be seen, online. You might get, I don't know, what, like 100 impressions, but Instagram. I'm gonna go on a little Instagram rant here. Maybe it's a little paranoid, but I think Instagram wants you to feel trapped. Instagram wants people to be on their platform and to feel trapped, especially artists. They want you to feel like, that there's this it's really difficult to go out and do your own marketing, do your own advertising, put your work out there. And it can be, it's not, this is like a very unique situation because I painted this across the street, and, it happens to be an idea where I can actually afford to be sitting out here offering this trade, right? That's one thing. But, I think it also shows that you really can't just put yourself out there. You just get yourself outside. I mean, it's amazing. Once in a while I see artists painting outside. I'm like, yes, that is the way. And I think that like in Los Angeles, as artistic of a town as it is, in my 10 years, almost 10 years of living here, I've only ever seen, unless I was with a specific group of painters, I've only ever seen one painter, which is pretty wild. Only one. Hey, how you doing? One that was like just setting up, one that had like set up at a corner to do a plein air session. Now there are clubs out here, which is great. There's a plein air painting club. I joined them on a regular basis. I've definitely joined them. But they don't paint in like really public areas. It's really hard to get a group together to paint in like a very busy street area. How you doing? Hey. To get people to paint all together in a very busy street area. Someone says, how long should I wait today? As long as it takes. All right. I guess, do I have to do what my viewers tell me to do? I don't know. What else? If this doesn't work, you might have to try another poll. Like, should I just go walk around with it? I don't want to go down the route of like bugging people, so I'm just gonna sit here with a sign. And honestly, the value of this painting, I mean, way higher, right? Oil paint's gonna last forever. Not, well, don't take my word on the forever part, but it'll last. And, plein air, made all with hand, in plein air across the street, historic. Then again, people who typically probably, I don't know, who might buy a piece like this, you gotta be huge fans, and they gotta be like ready to meet another person randomly. By the way, this is one thing that I love about Threads. There's this website called Threads. I don't know if anyone's been using it. I highly recommend it. It's great for artists. And it's not like overly saturated and used yet. But Threads is incredible. It's like, so if you think about X, if you think about Facebook, it's like talking in your family house, your parents' house or whatever, but nobody listens to you. Like, you're just talking to yourself in your own family's house, right? Because Facebook's the only people that you know, really. And you're just talking to yourself, but no one talks back. Or maybe, your relatives talk back. X is like standing on a city street and talking to yourself. X is like standing on a city street talking to yourself or trying to talk to somebody, and nobody ever talks back. Or maybe, you have to be known or recognized on that street for people to talk to you. But Threads is like sitting in a coffee shop talking out loud, and then people joining in on your conversation. It's just so interesting because I think it's a smaller group, and it really does a good job of helping people find communities within which to communicate in. So that's my pitch for Threads. Highly recommend Threads, regardless of what you do. There's so many things. Is this showing up on my YouTube? I feel like I can't actually, you know what? I can't upload this as a separate post to my YouTube because I have to exit this live stream. But you know, at some point, my battery's gonna run out. At some point, my battery's gonna run out. So that might be the point when, you know, that'll probably be the point when someone's like, okay, I'll take you up on your trade. So there we go. We talked about my thoughts on social media marketing, painting outdoors. I love painting outdoors, but you know what? I admit the first few times that I was like painting outdoors, it's probably one of like it was very, very intimidating. And I would make these really small paintings too, and you know, I'd make these really small paintings, but it's still intimidating. There would always be people, you know, walking by wanting to see, and especially early on with any painting, there's like, you know, what's called the ugly phase of a painting. And during that ugly phase, and some people have like an uglier phase than others. I typically have a really, really ugly phase of a painting where, you know, for at least like the first 2 hours or 3 hours of any painting, it is like the ugliest painting you ever see. And even in my mind, I'm going, how am I going to make this look appropriate? How will I, you know, recover from this moment? And that can be really, you know, intimidating when you're outdoors. Intimidating when you're outdoors and people are walking by looking at it. But, you know, once you get over that, it's really not that bad. But honestly, I can't wait all day. So I don't know if I'll wait as long as it takes. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Gotta think. I was planning, you know, my vision of this was that it'll probably only take me an hour. But I guess the truth of anything is, anything that you attempt to do, you should always plan that it will take much longer. It'll always take much longer than you expect. Always. I have like this wood that's falling on me. I don't know what it's from. But let's see, how long should I wait? Today, as long as it takes. So what's another important subject that I think is important to experiment with as an artist? I'm willing to do experimental things that are helpful. You know, not just like, I saw an interesting post on Threads today. The post was, this guy showed 2 videos. One was of his entire collection of artwork, and the other was of him slashing a painting, a canvas open. He slashed open a canvas, and he like poked the hole through his canvas or whatever. And he was saying how that post went viral, but you know, all his artwork did not. And like all his artwork, I feel like I need to stand up right now. He said all his artwork did not. And it makes me, you know, wonder. There's that difference between selling the artwork that's good, and, you know, just doing things that go viral, which I guess is an art in itself, you know. But do artists see that? Do artists, you know, believe that there is an element of content creation as art? It totally is. It's just a different medium. So here's my journal for the day. My live log journal. But yeah, honestly, the one platform that like I think has a lot of hype but kind of sucks still is Cara. I don't know if anyone's been on Cara. Cara.app. Sorry, Cara, but you know, Threads is really doing a great job. But you know, I think it's also the advantage that Threads is constantly promoted on Instagram. You know, you're constantly bombarded by threads of people. on Instagram. You're constantly bombarded by threads on Instagram, interesting posts. They know how to get you to sign up to it. But I wonder if I should turn off the live stream, if it'll get people to be more likely to. Hey, I wonder if being off the live stream make people more likely to not, because they're shy. I don't know. There's a really nice mural here. Where is it? Let's see. Really good mural. I love this mural that's across the street right now of Shohei Ohtani. Amazing mural. Amazing mural for the Shohei Ohtani fans. Probably one of my favorite murals in Burbank. Fantastic mural. But just the color's so great. So they did it. I don't know if it's on purpose or if they're going to do something over, but they did it with blue on the outside. Of course, Dodgers colors, but everything else is grayscale. So everything else is grayscale on it. And I don't know if maybe they'll add color to it later or something, but it's a really good, really fantastic mural. It is. Probably one of the top baseball players, or the most beloved baseball players in Los Angeles. It's also Friday. Happy Friday. How you doing? You know what? I think I already have like good photos of this. You think I should put? Do you think it'll help if I put original oil paint? Oh, man, thank you. You know, I really appreciate it, but this is more of like a trading the painting. If you want to, there's a gentleman down there if you'd like to share it with him. Oh, what? Yeah, I'm not, okay. I'm not. Well, they gave me a meal, but you know, I don't want people to think I'm trying to beg for food. I should go give it to that. I'm gonna go give it to a guy down the street here. Go give this to a guy down the street. So somebody did give me something. Grateful for it. Very grateful. Just gonna go hand it to somebody. I'm trying to think of like how I can actually frame it so that about how I can frame it so that people don't think it's Oh yeah, so I did add to the message. Full paint and original. One thing I learned about marketing or advertising is, sometimes you have to point out the obvious. Like I was looking at a bottle of toothpaste the other day, or a tube of toothpaste. I was looking at a tube of toothpaste the other day, and it said that it was gluten free. And I was like, what kind of toothpaste even has gluten in it? And it just made me wonder: is all toothpaste gluten free, or are they just advertising for people who only eat gluten-free products? And only for gluten-free products. And it's things like that. That if you just point out something obvious that people just like forget, I heard that's like a really good, really important thing to do on like branding and product branding stuff. If you sell, let me think, if you make a cup and to remind people that you can reusable glass cup or something, like something that's so obvious, but people can forget about it until you tell them about it. It's hard to explain this stuff without going into the long explanation that was in the marketing book, but make the obvious obvious. Sometimes that can help just be a little reminder to people of the thing that you're offering. So, I guess this is an example. I'm making this up, by the way, and I think this is true though. Is take for example succulents. Succulents are plants that I'm pretty sure you don't need to water every day. And if you're going to sell a succulent plant, I think succulents probably know that you don't have to water it every day. But you can say that you don't need to water it every day. That's just a reminder to anyone, either them, the buyers of a succulent plant, or anybody else who would just be like, hey, that's great. It's a great reminder. I'm exactly right now looking for a plant that I don't need to water every day. And also sometimes that's obvious. It's not obvious that this is an oil painting. And maybe it's not obvious that this is original. So if I had to do this again, maybe I should use I wonder if I should write in the stuff that I'm not actually trying to beg for food as much as I really just want to do a trade. But at least we're able to get something for somebody else. So maybe it's for the better, This is just a live streaming idea. I swear I'm gonna have like a pile of food here. I could have if I didn't have that guy to give it to. Maybe we'll get that guy enough food to last a week. I don't know. By the way, this company, this business, Porto's, I think they give pretty much every night. I'm pretty sure they donate the food to a shelter, because it's all. I'm pretty sure it's like fresh almost every day, or pretty often. And so that means at the end of the night they can't keep everything. So they do this amazing thing where every night I think there's a truck, and I'm not sure if it's every night or like every other night, but I've only heard this. But I think what they do is they just like load it onto a truck and then go send it off to some sort of shelter or donation place. Anyway, I'm gonna stand up for a second. here's the real question: what should I do if it doesn't go? Should I come back? I can't come back twice the same week. I got other stuff that I definitely have to do, but I don't know. I haven't really thought of the plan. I kind of just imagined that I would have only been here for an hour. But what should I do this after? Maybe the fact that I failed to sell this or trade this, I should say, is a better word. Maybe the fact that I failed to trade this right now makes it more valuable, right? Who knows? How does the art world work, right? How's the business of art work? I mean, honestly, that would probably be a better story. Is if I was sitting here and like, I go home and I'm like, I sat outside for 5 hours trying to trade this painting for a meal, and like it was steep. Although, people were offering me like $1, or someone did give me a thing of food. So, I am grateful and welcoming to all of these things, which, that's one thing, but I don't know how. I guess it is better for artists to try and go sell paintings at a place, at a place where people actually buy paintings rather than on a street corner. The corner of Porto's on Hollywood Way and Magnolia. So I probably spend like, as far as Instagram ads go, I've spent as much as like $10 a day and as little as like $3 a day. Sometimes more depending on like what I'm trying to do. And it might only last for like 5 or 10 days. But it is so interesting to me. Anytime I go outside, anytime I go out with my artwork, stand outside, go outdoors, paint outdoors, it's just so fascinating to me how much you can spend on trying to getting people to see your artwork on social media compared to if you literally just take your artwork outside in like a nice busy public space. And honestly, for anybody, like step one, exposure. Step one, exposure. However you can, however you can get as many people as you can possibly get to see your artwork. So I did this experiment. There's a book called Hitmakers, but I think his name is Derek Thompson. It's a really good book about not how things go viral, but like how things become hits. So not just like, 1 or 2 off virality videos that you can't really repeat, but it's a really good book about hitmakers. And it has like multiple chapters about just simply the value of exposure. And here's one really great example. So they did this like research on a college campus. So they did this experiment on a college campus, and on that college campus, they had like, I want to say, on this college campus, they took a bunch of Impressionist paintings, so like Claude Monet, I don't know, Marie Cassatt. Is that her name? Is it Marie Cassatt? I think it's Marie Cassatt. It might be a different one. Like even Cézanne, and like a bunch of really well-known Impressionists. Let's just call it that. So they did this experiment on a college campus, and they exposed students to no-name paintings, like paintings from much lesser-known artists, maybe even like contemporary lesser-known artists. And they did this experiment where they did a gallery show where they showed the paintings of the the modern contemporary artists, and then they showed the paintings of the really famous, successful Claude Monet impressionists in the same room. And time again, it proved that the people that saw the painting more, so they were exposed to the contemporary artists, the paintings that they were exposed to more, they simply liked more. But the reverse of that experiment that they also did was they took people into a room of familiar paintings. So obviously really famous paintings that they were familiar with. And most of the time they liked the famous paintings more. So there really shows this idea of how this exposure to your artwork is so important, whether you're doing it online, whether you're doing it online, or whether you're doing it in person or in a gallery or wherever. Like that should be like step number one, I think, is just getting your work seen. So anyway, I guess it's been, we'll say, an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not gonna sit out here in the scorching heat. So at some point I may just have to get breakfast and call it a day. Put my artwork away and go get breakfast somewhere. And you know what? What's a better story? Here's the question for those of you watching. What's the better story? That it actually worked and I was able to get a meal on this corner, or that I went home and failed, but I tried. I don't know. What is more helpful to artists? The thing is, though, here's the thing. The people that love it when you fail are not the ones that you want to surround yourself with, right? Like, the people who engage with your posts and all your articles when you fail and give you sympathy are not the one, honestly, they're not the ones that you really want to be around, right? Because they only celebrate when you're failing. So who do you want to invite? The people that invite into your life, the people that help you succeed with an idea, or the ones that only are happy to engage when you're not? By the way, for those of you that watch my live streams, you know that they're long, rambling live blogs, live journals of all these topics under the sun. Anything that comes to mind regarding art, business, marketing, ideas around those ideas. And you know what I find funny about Threads is it shows just how many people have things to say and want to connect with people, but also at the same time it shows kind of reveals that everybody's craving it in real life, right? Not everybody, maybe 1 in 10 people, 1 in 5, but very few people do. So, I don't know, low pressure, internet, low stakes. Internet is very low stakes, but what does everybody think about the setup? So it is a nice little setup. It comes with a little stand. Anyone wants it? Little stand. And a fun little sign. So has anybody had that on like social media? People don't really like communicate with you until like post a failure or something, and then all like the, I guess, the sympathetic people come in. But I find that a really interesting like dilemma, right? Like, why? I think deep down, they love to see the failure aspect of it. I don't think that's good. I think that's the best is to support people in all their goods and bads. But it makes you think about this idea of like, when supporting other artists, you got to go to their shows, right? You don't want to hear that the show is no good or something. You got to go to visit the shows. You got to go see the shows. I go to a lot of shows. I'm at this place called Bergamo Station quite a lot. I do my live streams there. And I do these live streams. So those of you just tuning in, I'm on Hollywood Way. It's Hollywood Way. You can see the sign, another sign right here a little better. Where's that sign? Hollywood Way. I have a little setup right here in front of Porto's. I did this painting about a year or two ago across the street at the corner. So I'm just doing this live stream to see something simple. If anybody would ever today be open to trading for this piece. And I'm actually doing it right in front of Porto's. I've been offered money and I've been handed food. But there's actually like a homeless person down the street who so I turned down the money. I was going to turn down the food, but they wouldn't take it back. So I gave it to a gentleman down at the corner who probably ultimately needs it a little bit more than me. But I do, as far as what I'm doing today for this live stream, it's more of a for artists type of stream. Maybe a little bit of a motivation and to get my thoughts together about just getting artists to get out there. I know one of the things that helps me a lot, and I think every artist should do this, is sharing your thoughts. Lost me there. And I don't know when I tapped the mute button, but as artists to actually do live streams and just share almost everything that comes to your mind, because you come up with so many great things, thoughts and ideas when you do. Make sure you have enough water. I'm parched, but I don't feel like leaving my spot right now. I might give it another 30 minutes. If the sun starts to get too hot right on top of my head, I don't know, I might also stop. I'm not quitting. I'm just gonna call it a break for the day. Where else can I post this? Where else can I share this live stream? I've shared it on my Reddit. If I post it on Facebook groups, I feel like they're gonna kick me out or like ban my post. Definitely Facebook. How would I do it? And I already posted on Threads, but Threads is pretty up to date. They tell you like things by the minute. Where else? Should I share on Threads again every hour? Let me do another post on Threads here. I wonder how extravagant that I have to make this sign. Maybe I should have presented it better. probably should have. How's it going? I probably should have made the sign presentation a little better, but whatever. Here's the poll. Oh, I lost all my conversations. What happened to all the conversations? Oh no. All right. Well, anyway. Some great businesses here. We got a crumble cookie here. That crumble cookies. It's a really popular spot. They make great cookies, as you might imagine. Definitely so there's a flower seller down the street, and in my mind that flower seller should definitely be live streaming. But Hollywood Way, Portos. The first thing way I tried to get rid of this painting was actually DM them on Instagram to see if they would buy it right off the top, but I didn't get any response there, so let's see if someone else wants it nearby.
Sit over there.
But in the meantime, I could just listen to good music, right? All right, we're back. Okay. Got disconnected for a second.
Strawberry shortcake.
There we go. I think the detail's pretty good, huh? Some good combinations of colors, some yellows and greens. Got a nice red just to make it all pop. There was actually an ambulance here that day. I don't know why. Just the ambulance, or I guess that's an ambulance, or like a small. I can't remember if it was an ambulance or a fire truck. Because ambulances aren't always red, right? I think it's a poorly painted. It's like a not poorly painted. It's a miniaturized. It's a miniaturized. It's a miniaturized fire truck or something. We'll see. So we're at an hour and a half. Should have gotten a hair tie. Let me see. I actually have a hair tie. I started this live stream with the hair tie, but I seem to have lost it. Uh-oh. What did I do with my hair tie? Oh, here we go. Keep having to fix my hair. It's so crazy right now. Speaking of which, happy Friday, everybody. I think we need a new poll. Here's the other thing, though. I think, people probably, as far as, the value of artwork goes, if I sit here on a corner, people will probably, just talking about marketing in general, right? The marketing of products, the marketing of artwork. If I was to sit here on this corner all day and just have this painting here, trading it for a meal, people see the painting differently than if I was to actually, be at a show and display this and offer, charge 10 times as much for it. But it is, which by the way, I have sold paintings in plein air on the spot for 10 times as much as this, which 10 times, yeah, 300, yeah. But anyway, it's a fun little thing to do for the day. It's all about perspective, right? The optics of everything. So, da-da-da-da. I think I'll at least wait until there's like a line starting to form. And if that line forms, and then nobody does, then I'm obviously in the wrong place at the wrong time. For this idea. And I can't see any chats right now. I don't know if the chats are off. I have retouch on? No, I don't like retouch. These retouch filters are going a little way too far nowadays. Oh, I got a 40. You could just do quick shorts. So this is a really interesting, such a popular spot. Usually there's like lines all the way down at the, top of the afternoon, like the top of the afternoon, 11 a.m. to like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. till like 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. at night. There's just lines all the way down the block. It's pretty wild how busy it gets. Especially during COVID, there was like lines of cars going all the way around. Now in the mornings, there's a breakfast place. This is probably one of the biggest breakfast places. If you ever travel to Los Angeles or California and you look up must-visit places to eat or drink, or have breakfast, brunch, whatever, Porto's is one. I believe it's a Cuban bakery. I don't know if it's Cuban or Puerto Rican. I think it's Cuban. So it's a very unique combination of flavors. And you can get meals and you get like little pastries and stuff, but it's got savory, right? So whenever I go into a bakery, I'm always looking for the savory stuff. I don't like too many sweet pastries. But Porto's totally nails it as far as people who love savory foods, who love salty foods and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty great. But I've shared this on LinkedIn, on my Reddit, and my Threads. I think Threads is probably one of the top social media platforms right now. It's like it's doing what no other social media platform is doing. And even TikTok, I think Threads is probably going to be better than TikTok because the only problem I see with Threads, as far as anyone trying to start a social media page with Threads, is the idea that there's just like too much. I think it's more active than X right now, so we'll see. Even compared to X, like Threads, I mean, X is starting to feel a little clunky. I never really got in on X, on the Twitter game, but if you wanted to get in on Twitter early days, like Threads is the way to go. Like you got to get on Threads, and I think their algorithm does like a great job of just connecting people with the right communities. So, a little update. Here we are. We're at Porto's Bakery, right there. It says really esteemed bakery and cafe. And I think this is the original from Burbank, California. I don't know if this is actually the original, but I don't know if this is the original. I don't know if this is the original Porto's, but really popular spot. Great, delicious. Highly recommend people coming out here. And I really need some stronger branding. Like I have a little like scannable QR code that I left at home. Sure, but I didn't really think I'd need it. But here we are. Here we go. I love this neighborhood, Burbank. You got Burbank Sports Cars. It's a new sports car shop. I haven't been to this pizza place yet. It's a fantastic neighborhood. Got a pizza place right there. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks okay. It's always got like the dark tinted windows, so you can never really see what's going on inside. Music's great. I love it. Something tells me that YouTube is gonna hit me with every single copyright infringement for this live stream because of the music playing in the background. But here's the thing: if you're in a public space, if I'm in a public space and I'm live streaming, I think that should, where does the conflict? I'd like to hear some law thoughts about that. I'm streaming from a public place and there happens to be somebody playing music in a public space. I feel like I should be allowed to have it, right, YouTube? What do you think? What does YouTube say about that? I should be allowed to have it on my live stream if it's in a public street corner and it happens to pop up my live stream. I can't control that, right? Now, obviously, if it's in like my apartment or my studio or in a car, that's one thing. But what does the law say? No, I don't want green screen. Oh, crap. Here's the problem. I can't turn it off. Oh, yeah, I can. You can turn off green screen, right? Hey. So I'm just gonna flip the camera around just to give a visual of what's actually happening right now. So I did this piece about a year ago. Did this piece right here. Oh, about a year ago. And it was at this very corner. I was literally just standing, I think I was standing there. I don't remember if I was standing at this corner. I think I was standing there. Gas, yeah, can you believe the gas prices? So this is actually cheap for gas in Los Angeles, by the way. This gas price is actually pretty cheap, $4.55 if you pay cash. I don't know if anyone can believe that is cheap gas. This Arco across the street from Porto's is cheap. Very low price gas. I was at that corner down there doing this painting a couple years ago. And you know what? I wasn't able to sell it. Well, you know, I didn't really try to sell it. I sent one weak DM to Porto's to see if they would buy it, and then I just left it on my wall because I liked it. I did actually really like it. The only reason why I'm doing this, part of the inspiration for this live stream was one of my viewers the other day was talking about the value of painting, whatever. And then yesterday I was reading this post about this idea of like non-attachment, and thought, you know, instead of just giving away my paintings, I'd see if this idea would do anything, if this idea would interest anybody. So I don't know. And it's starting to get busy now. This is starting to get to like peak time at Porto's. Peak hour. Peak hour at Porto's. Peak time. Alright, got a couple people as I just bob my head to the Cuban music. I don't know if this is Cuban music, but it's definitely got some fun Caribbean vibes. So, you know what? It has been a very fun little experimentation here. I do look forward. Most. I was trying to decide whether I want to do this in the morning or in the afternoon when there's a line, because the line is starting to form. But Let's see, where else can I attempt to make a post about this? Let's see. Check out a couple Reddit pages. Trading art, Neil. Yeah. All right. Cool. Awesome. Oh, hey. So I am live streaming. I don't know if you want to be on it.
I don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So everybody, good news. Somebody has just taken me up on the offer to trade this painting. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Chris.
All right. So that's Chris, and we're gonna go head in now. So that's a great way to end this live stream. Thank you. And yeah.